Ahead tonight, experts heading to the Bahamas to help resolve technical challenges up at the Bahamas Electricity Corporation. And later on, training opportunities to unfold for a group of Bahamians in 5 countries. The Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition, starts now.
Now in HD. Network presents The Bahamas Tonight. This portion of the news brought to you by BTC Every Day.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the weekend edition of The Bahamas Tonight. The Bahamas Electricity Corporation has restored power to all areas in New Providence following that island-wide outage this week. Officials are now telling us that consultants from the Power Secure company based in Florida are on the way to the Bahamas to assess what led to that hours-long blackout. We spoke with BEC Chairman Leslie Miller at the Clifton Pier plant today, and he told us that all the engines and generators are back up and running and that teams are continuing to work with specialists who have been called in to assist with resolving some of the technical issues that have recently developed. Now, what we're told is that this recent outage was caused by a fault at the substation on Soldier Road that subsequently caused all of BC's systems to trip offline. But what the chairman is saying is that that faulty line should never have affected the power plants at Blue Hills and Clifton Pier. It's what the consultants will be investigating once they arrive in the capital tomorrow afternoon.
The fault started, we understand, at our substation on Soldier Road, which then went straight into Blue Hill because of the line that runs from there to Blue Hills. That shut out all the engines there. When that happened, that impacted the engines here at Clifton, and it was a ricochet situation that really wasn't anticipated. So what Mr. Darwell have done, we have called in some experts out of the States that's coming in here tomorrow. And we're going to try to get to the bottom of this so that there's no reoccurrence. Whatever problem it was that happened this week, we're going to see to it that does not reoccur. So we're having those people in here, and they'll be with us for the week as long as it takes to get it clear, because we don't want our people to really be suffering during the summer months with this heat. And I guess it's a good thing that it happened now. Instead of the middle of the summer, we got to figure out the problems. And I really want to thank all of the hard-working staff of BC. Mr. Darwin and I was with them every step of the way till 4:30 in the morning.
Now, the chairman says over the next 48 hours, some BEC generators may need to be taken offline in order to facilitate additional repairs, which may result in a generation shortfall during these periods. He says the company will carry out these repairs during low demand hours to minimize disruption and/or inconvenience. However, some customers may still be impacted during these periods, but Mr. Miller is sending this message to customers.
You will get criticism no matter what you do. I go to bed happy at night knowing that every morning I wake up, I try to do the best that I can on behalf of the people that I represent, which is the Bahamian people. I will continue to do so. I don't let nobody deviate me from our goal. Our goal is to bring the price of electricity down, to assist the Bahamian people in lowering the burden that is on their backs collectively.
3 men ages 46, 19, and 17, all of Pinewood Gardens, are in police custody following a drug seizure Friday. We're told that around 8 o'clock yesterday morning, Drug Enforcement Unit officers conducted an operation at the General Aviation section of the Lyndon Pindley International Airport, where they observed the 46-year-old suspect who had just arrived on a charter flight from Andros, then entered a white Maxima vehicle occupied by the 2 other suspects. Now, the officers conducted a search of the vehicle and found a carry-on bag containing 5.5 pounds of marijuana with an estimated street value of $5,000. The 3 suspects were taken into custody and are expected to appear in court early next week to be formally charged. Police also need your help this evening solving a shooting that has left a man nursing wounds in hospital. We're told that it was shortly after 1 o'clock this morning when police say a man was shot to the left side of his body while at Fowler Street off East Bay Street. Now, the victim was transported to hospital where he's detained in stable condition. No further details available on that shooting, but investigations are ongoing. Well, there have been quite a bit of comments surrounding the proposed gaming bill, which is expected to reach Parliament very soon. But attorney Wayne Monroe, who represents web shop operators, is concerned about a lot of the discussion, which he says indicates a great deal of misunderstanding on the part of the public, particularly the wording of certain aspects of the proposal. However, Mr. Monroe feels government should be given credit for at least moving the bill in the first place, as the previous government promised to do so and did not deliver.
I think as the process is being worked through, we need to bear with the government as it does what it needs to do. You don't rush to do things. So, for instance, the last government had settled an order to bring that into place. Well, that was the wrong process. The other government had just asked the web shops to tell them how much they made, and that was the wrong process. This present government asked the web shops to tell them what they made and then forced them to work with an auditor to confirm it. And so it did take longer than just giving numbers. And in terms of working out the draft bill, this present government gave it to us for consultation. We've given them our views. They've consulted with other persons, and that takes time. It's better to do it right than to do it quickly.
Now, this past week, Minister with responsibility for gaming, Obi Wilchcombe, said the draft legislation was expected to be complete by Friday, with regulation to take effect before the end of the month. Well, the issue of illegal migration to the Bahamas and the economic and social challenges it presents, as well as the potential loss of life for those involved, will top the agenda of the new Turks and Caicos Governor General, His Excellency Peter Beckingham. The new Governor General made those remarks following a courtesy call on Governor General His Excellency Sir Arthur Folkes on Friday. He indicated that illegal Haitian migration is an ongoing challenge for both countries, and working with the Haitian government is going to be crucial. Now, in getting this or moving this forward, the Governor General said that his country is willing to work with the Haitian government.
We intercepted 2 sloops coming from Haiti just this week with about 140 people on board. They could easily have drowned, they could have turned over, and we believe that by talking together with your government to the Haitian government, perhaps we can just try and influence them to do a little more to stop people setting off on these extremely dangerous journeys.
The Turks and Caicos official also noted that the Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos enjoy a close relationship, sharing many regional interests.
Turks and Caicos is obviously very close to the Bahamas in every sense, both from a historical point of view, a cultural point of view, but also a political point of view. We have common regional interests, so I'm particularly keen to talk about those.
The National Training Agency and Diamonds International striking a good deal that could impact the economy and, of course, employment. Since joining forces with the National Training Agency a few months ago, Diamonds International added 38 employees to its local staff complement. Now, the company is about to launch a new rotational leadership program to provide training opportunities for Bahamians. It's a 2-year program that will allow local employees to be trained at one of the company's international locations and return to work in the Bahamas in a management position. Minister of Labor and National Insurance Shane Gibson commended Diamonds for its stellar leadership and visionary efforts and noted the many benefits.
This is extremely important because, as I said earlier, we are a service-based economy, and when we look at the reasons why most persons in the Bahamas lose their jobs is because of the attitudes and the poor service that they provide. The fact that the government is unable to fund all of the training needed in the Bahamas, and the way the National Training Agency was designed, it was really designed to operate as an autonomous body, will be responsible for raising their own funds and designing their own programs through the generosity of the private sector.
So far, 5 countries in which Diamonds International operates have agreed to accept Bahamian employees. Operations Manager Gilly David says 21 people have been selected initially. Out of that number, only 9 of them will be chosen to work abroad. He believes, though, that the program is a win-win situation for all involved.
I think that the difference for this program is that we are trying to get our own benefit, and the big difference is that this is a win-win situation for everyone. First of all, for the candidates that are here today and the other colleagues that they're going to have at the class. Other than that, for the Bahamas itself, they're going to have a better workforce and more qualified workforce. And on top of all that, to Diamonds International, that's going to give us the ability to have leaders that are going to develop and grow in our company in a way that suits the company needs and the way that we would like to receive our guests in the Bahamas and in our stores.
Well, still to come in the weekend edition, the National Heroes Committee still pushing to recognize Bahamians at the highest level. We've got that and more after this break.